Now, though, but this is going to be a great chat. Who should stay? Who has to go at Manchester United?
It's not 6, Addy, it's 7!
We make mistakes, we got hammered.
Antony with the first shot on goal, steers it wide of the left-hand upright. It's a big let off for Brighton.
Darling, you got to let me know.
Marcus Rashford is being substituted.
Should I stay or should I go?
Oh, it's gone right through Onana.
If you say that you are mine,
Oh, it's flicked wide by Casemiro.
I'll be here till the end of time.
Fernandes goes for goal, just wide.
So you got to let me know.
Harry Maguire is going to be sent off.
Should I stay or should I go?
That package is
anti-Man
unbelievable.
United. So anti-Man United, this show.
What a package.
It's unbelievable. According to reports, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is open to selling Man United's entire squad with just 3 players being named as off limits. They are, of course, Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund. The Telegraph have reported Man United captain Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes did an interview this week and was asked about potentially leaving Old Trafford. He says, obviously, it doesn't just depend on me, does it? A player always has to want to be here, but at the same time, you have to want him to stay. At the moment, I feel there's that on both sides. He went on to say, if you want me to be very honest, I have to think about not continuing in the Premier League. It won't be until after the Euros because nothing will be able to take my focus away from the FA Cup final and the Euros, and there's nothing more important than that at the moment. So players that are off limits, there's only 3 of them, Garnacho, Højlund and Mainoo. No surprise there. What might be a surprise is that other players on that list don't include, or the other players aren't mentioned, in Marcus Rashford. And more surprising for me is Bruno Fernandes. Let's start talking about Bruno. He's 29, he'll be 30 in September. I know it's a long way off, but that's when the football season begins, give or take a month. I thought he would be one of those players that Manchester United, he's a captain as well, right? He's incredibly important to Man United, right? Quite often, I know people will say he shouldn't be captain, he has tantrums, etc. But his goals and his assists and his penalties are so important to Manchester United. I was quite surprised that his name wasn't on the list, meaning if the right money comes in for him, they will cash in. What do you make of him as a player and the fact that he is, in theory, possibly up for sale?
He's been very good for Manchester United, goals, assists. He came into a pivotal time for Man United where you were struggling a bit and he had that bit of quality and he got off to an unbelievable start. But when I look at him, certainly in the bigger games, very rarely has he's shown up and I've gone, oh, there we go. Plus his age is 30. I think if Man United were consistently, I know you won a cup last season, if Man United were consistently winning cups, top 4 finishes all the time, and he was that pivotal to that, I'd go, do you know what? You can't let him go. But I do think if you was to get, 80 million for him, for Bruno Fernandes, I think you can. I think he is replaceable. I don't think he's irreplaceable. So no, listen, I think he's been fantastic for Manchester United. You can't fault, when you look on the stat sheet, you can't fault that. But there are just times in games and sometimes the way he acts, the petulance, I think the petulance is why drives people crazy. The whole throwing of the arms and obviously, was it last season, the season before, pushing the linesman and just petulant things he shouldn't do. And I think as a captain, people think, well, no, that's not what should be done. So it doesn't really surprise me. I know you'd rather hold on to him, but I think he is replaceable.
Do you think that Manchester United, the 3 players that I mentioned that they don't want to sell, do you think they're the 3 that Man United, the hierarchy, will look to build a squad around and a team around? Yeah,
Garnacho, I'm a big fan of his. Like direct. He's got that good arrogance as well. Kobbie Mainoo came in, made himself an international, calm, composed, will only get better. He's only 18, 19. He's going to get better. And Højlund at the minute he's a bit of a streaky striker in terms of he got off to a bit of a tough start. Then he had that period where he was just smashing him in. Then he went a bit quiet again, but that's just consistency with his age. So that will come. So it doesn't surprise me. But I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here when it comes to Manchester United because even though it feels like you've had a lot of injuries, your squad's big. There's a lot of players on this squad.
There's a lot of deadwood's a horrible word, but there's a lot of players that you just look at and think they shouldn't be at Man United anymore.
Oh no, I agree with that.
For Hope's sake, right? And he did his job when United bought him, but they paid a lot of money for him. They gave him a ridiculous contract.
Casemiro.
Yeah,
has to go.
Yeah, I think it's time now. Right? You want me to name the players? Right? I mean, Lindelof. I think his time is probably up.
Yeah.
Maguire. I think his time is probably up. Rashford's the one.
Do you know what's quite funny? That one burns you, doesn't it?
Because I know there's a player in there. I don't know what you do with Rashford if a massive offer comes in. See, here's the problem, right? And you know this only too well, Benny. As a football fan, me, from the outside looking in, I just see a one-dimensional. There's Marcus Rashford. He plays on the left. He either has a great game or he doesn't, right? There's obviously stuff that goes on behind the scenes. There's maybe stuff, and not just him, but all footballers, with his personal life. You don't know if he's had a row with the manager. You don't know if he gets on with half the squad. It's just normal football stuff that goes on, probably in any workplace. But I don't know what all that is about, so I don't know how the players, I don't know how the manager, I don't know how the board feel about Marcus Rashford.
Again, I mean, I think sometimes his body language, and we speak a lot about body language on this show, that at times he just looks like he's just not happy in his environment. That could be on the pitch. I mean, I do think at times that when he's been asked to play down the middle and his body language is so blatant that he doesn't want to play down the middle, I do think at times he goes a bit over the top when letting people know that he doesn't want to play there. We know he don't want to play there, but just do a job for the team by playing down the middle. Do you know what I mean? Because he's got the attributes to do really well there. But it's one of those. If you believe that you can't build a squad with him in it, or he can't flourish anymore, then you let him go. I know it's going to be a difficult decision because he's obviously born and bred Manchester United. But one thing Man United need now is consistency. You need, because you don't need where you win 3 games and you lose 3 games.
No.
You need a bit of consistency. You need good performances, and right now Man United are not doing that.
Do you think they need a complete overhaul there? I mean, we're talking about a huge chunk of that first team. Another player, Antony. What do you do with Antony?
He's got to go. He's got to go.
Okay, how much can you get for Antony?
50, 40.
Okay, he's got to go, right?
He's got to go. Not good enough.
Okay.
I know he's been better of late, but the guy costs 90 million.
No, it's nuts.
It's nuts.
What I would do if I was in charge at United, if I was going to sell someone like Bruno, who's 29, and you get, 70 million for him?
Yeah.
I'd stick on another 50 and go and get Cole Palmer.
Yeah,
He's a Man United fan.
I don't think he's leaving Chelsea, though. Chelsea are definitely not letting him go.
Well, if a big offer... I think Chelsea got money problems anyway.
Yeah, but they're not letting him go. They've got so many more sellable assets than him.
You don't think 120 will get him?
No. They've just got...
An amount will get him? 150 will get...
I don't think it does.
What? 150 wouldn't get Cole Palmer?
No. The reason why I say that...
Are you joking
Look at the state of them without him.
I know that, I know.
So there's no one on the planet...
Talks.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, what price gets him?
Nothing...
There is if I offered 300 million, I'll get him. So what price gets Cole Palmer?
You 300 million, there you go. But if you saw Chelsea without him, there's no... What would Chelsea do then?
No, I know. I know.
Take Modric.
Would I take Modric?
Yeah, it's...
I thought you said Modric.
Yeah, Modric.
No, I wouldn't, mate.
No, I just think...
Would you? I'll take Bruno Guimaraes. I'd have him. Branthwaite. I think these are players. On the right, maybe Elise.
Yeah.
Jarrod Bowen maybe on there as well. I'm a huge Jarrod Bowen fan.
Yeah. I do think, though, I think the first and foremost, before you start looking at this fire sale, what's happening with the manager? There's no point in letting him get rid of who he wants and then going, right, thanks for that, see ya.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're not going there, but we are going where the players are either staying or going. There's only 3 that are definitely untouchable.
Is there any others you think? Is there any others?
I don't think Luke Shaw will go.
But I think it's the injuries. I think Luke Shaw's fantastic. Point. It's the injuries.
Yeah.
But
goalkeeper?
Oh, yeah, he's
I mean, how nuts? I mean,
he's replaceable.
But no team, apart from Chelsea this summer, no team have ever gone out and sold 9 players and bought in 7.
No.
Have they?
But he's, goalkeeper's replaceable.
So the whole back 4, Wan-Bissaka?
See, this is where you're going to have to, they're going to have to narrow it down. They can't just go, right, we're going to sell everybody.
No.
You have to have some form of nucleus of a squad. So it might be the lesser of 2 evils. You might look at Maguire and Lindelof and go, well, we don't really want to keep either of them, but all right, we'll get rid of Lindelof because Harry Maguire's slightly less worse.
Right.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.